Fleece Johnson stirred up more than his share of trouble behind bars. Johnson's first arrest was at the age of 15 for armed robbery. Since then, he has spent more than 30 years behind bars, most of them within the stone ramparts of Kentucky State Penitentiary.
This was like a gladiator school down here. You come down here, you're gonna either fight or you're gonna be somebody's punk. It's just that simple. So to survive in here, I had to fight. And so we fought. And I whooped their ass all around this prison.
In this previously unaired interview footage, Johnson recalls the legacy of violence he unleashed on officers during his time in Kentucky's 3-cell house, the Hole.
When they come up to my cell, say back up, turn around, be handcuffed, I say, you come on in here and get me. Let's do it. When they come to fight me, they don't play. I done been shackled to the bed, no telling how many times, maced and gagged. I was maced so much, they said don't even mace him, because it don't even affect him. He's immune to it. They'll take and shoot me with a taser gun or whatever, because it's going to take more than that to calm me down a little, you know. And when they come up with something new, they come to me and try it on me to see if it works.
I definitely had the sense that Fleece loved to have an audience. He was a great storyteller, and he knew it.
And a lot of the officers that I fought, some of them quit it. A whole bunch of them quit it through me. I made them quit.
One of those officers barely escaped with his life.
Well, I took a 5-gallon bucket of boiling water with bleach and salt and everything in it. It was so hot, I took a spoon. And as soon as I threw it in there, it said, shh. It just curled off. That's how hot it was. And I threw it on him. Just threw the whole bucket on him.
What did he do that made you want to assault him like that?
He disrespected me. That's all it takes. Back then, that's all it took, just a simple disrespect.
The CO survived, but the incident caused the state to institute hazard pay for its officers, and Johnson received 15 years tacked on to his sentence. But it wasn't just KSP officers who experienced his wrath. He also took it out in his own cell.
I say I tore about 400 toilets out of the wall and tore them up. I tore up about 5,000 or 6,000 mattresses, probably 20-some thousand sheets and blankets and doors. I tore off the hinges and things like that. You talking millions. That they was, this one man was costing the state millions, and could nobody break me. Nobody.
These days, Fleece claims he is too old for the violence he used to commit, and the prison has even released him from segregation for good behavior. But slowing down can't reduce the consequences of his actions, and they're beginning to weigh a little more heavily on his mind.
The most disturbing thing of it all is the day when it occurred to a person that all the years that you fought physical battles that you thought was right, good, and just was wrong. And to know that is a very hurting thing, because you look back over all the people you have hurted through your battles, and it's painful. And so the only way to make good on it is to do something constructive and hope that it makes a difference somewhere. I chose to fight. I stabbed them, piped them, knocked them out. This is known all over Kentucky. This is what I did. In 1977, February the 18th, I was sent here to this prison because the other prison system couldn't control me.
Another inmate with a notorious past is Fleece Johnson. Released after 31 years at KSP, he returned in 2003 on parole violation.
They had a lot of gangs in her. There was random stabbings and killings, and there was violence in here unheard of. But it was right up my alley, you know.
Fleece Johnson held probably the reputation of being the most violent inmate in the state. He has been known to tear sinks off the wall, toilets from the floor, you name it, he's probably torn it up.
The prison locks up inmates like Fleece Johnson in solitary confinement, known as a segregation cell or the hole.
I stayed in segregation, solitary confinement for 12 years. And a lot of the officers that I fought, some of them quit. I assaulted one of their officers one day. I put him in hospital for 30 days in serious condition. Almost killed him. They gave me 15 years for it.
He has since calmed down tremendously. With age, the inmates tend to slow down with their poor behavior, and they learn that arguing with authority figures is not the way to go.
Here's my rap sheet. Like you see, I'm robbing, 74. And these is all the charges: wanton endangerment in the first degree, assault in the first degree, assault in the third degree, assault in the third degree, another assault in the third degree, another assault in the third degree. Them is all the charges I picked up in the prison system. So now, things are different. See, I done growed up.
While Fleece Johnson's violent acts are in his past,